second question. Thank you.
Now, as to the second question, which is how would failed parents retrace their steps? I think the best way to deal with this is, I have an ideology. I've always said that you cannot fill a cup that is already full. Parents first need to understand that they are wrong. Most parents will be wrong and do not even deem it right to tell their child that they can be wrong.
You can apologize
They
to your
fail to
children
let the
first.
child know that they are humans, entitled to make mistakes.
Apologize to your children.
First,
Start
they
a
should
place.
learn apology.
Then
They should
before
learn
you
to
tell
be
them the right
close
thing.
to their children. Learn to be able to speak to your children. Tell them, oh, I reflected on what I said and I realized I was wrong.
That I misled you. So
Now
that's
the
it.
child will be able to realize that humans make mistakes, but try not to make costly mistakes. And when you make mistakes, retrace your steps. So the parents need to show the children how these things work. Parents need to accept, they need to reorientate themselves. Like I heard that there is now a association of mothers of Yahoo boys.
Can you imagine?
I actually read it and I was like, wow. Now it's become so legalized that the parents actually think that they can actually support them. I've heard of stories where the parents take these children to the herbalists to get fortified, to make them better, which actually would require them to do sacrifice, human or animal. They would be required to do some form of sacrifice. And I think speaking the truth, making the children understand that truthful speaking is important. If you are truthful to your children and they imbibe the culture of being truthful, they probably will tell you when their friends told them something that they believe is wrong. They would probably tell you when they think something should be done. And that gives you the opportunity to correct them. When the child comes to you and tells you, Dad, I found out that Tunde went to one Baba and he decided to make this and this work so that he could have the money he decided to get. When you decide to deal with those things by telling the child, oh, this is what it will lead to, this is what it will lead to, I think the parents would have successfully retraced their steps by making the children know that they can actually do wrong, but they know the effect of the wrong. So you see the wrong, and I am correcting my wrong. So when you commit a wrong, correct the wrong, or avoid committing a wrong. So I think with those things, I think that parents would have successfully changed their ways and retrace their steps.
Well, thank you so much, Shegun. You have really said it all. That's it. When when you're speaking, I also chip in that parents can apologize to their children. It's not a place. Apologize to your children. Oh, I thought this is right before, but what I told you is wrong. I am misleading you. I'm not doing you good by that. Please, I'm so sorry. Forgive me. This is not right. And go back. And I mentioned to you before too that mothers particularly want to dress and wear lace, drive car, and also live in flashy houses and good houses and all that. No, now you're forming clique now, association of. Can you even listen to yourself? How did it even sound in the ear? This is bad. Let's help the children because we are leading them to their early grave. Let's help them. We have lived our lives as mothers, for crying out loud. Help your children to live their own lives. Tell them the right thing to be done. Tell them the right thing to be done. Please, parents, mothers like me, daddies and mommies, please, tell your children the right thing to be done, not to mislead them. You know, there's a story that time we mentioned about by firing a squad. You know, when they want to convict a thief or a robber, they will say, okay, they tie one of the boys those days in a stake, and he just say, please. The pastor just finished praying for him because the pastor will always come and pray. And he said, please, I want to talk to my mother. And the mother came. He said, please, come close. As the mother just come close to put her ear to his mouth, he just bite that. He took people to drag the woman's ear from his mouth. He said, because when I was doing this wrong, you were healing me. You didn't tell me that what I'm doing is wrong. Because it's also it's not how God wants it to be, that you even bury your children. Now you lead your children to their early grave in the name of want to be rich, want to belong. Haba. Please, let's do the right thing. What you couldn't succeed, you want your children to succeed by killing themselves. That is wrong. You couldn't make money by your own when you were their age. And one day you are pushing them not to do that for you. How? So what you need to do to your children is to give them good education, send them to school. Whether there's work for them to do after their graduation or not in Nigeria, let them have that basic education first. a door will be open for them someday. And that's our prayer. Please, mothers. Vivid view.
Say it and do it.
This is Vivid View.